So we are going to make some mushroom gravy. Basically, if you miss your condensed milk, your condensed mushroom soup, this is going to really help. That's 1 cup of water. The first thing you want to do is boil your mushrooms. I've got a pack of mushrooms. Putting it in there, and we're gonna boil it. Don't put salt, don't put anything in there, and we're gonna boil this. And after it comes to a boil and the water turns brown, you have now successfully flavored your water, and you can begin to add your roux and everything to thicken it. Alright, we're back to our mushroom soup. And our condensed milk, well, it's going to be mushroom gravy, basically, as if it was the mushroom soup out of the can. And I just happened up on this one day, and so I am taking and I'm putting some water in a cup. I'm going to put 2 cups of water in a cup. You can use a bowl, but I always like using a cup. Okay? And then I'm going to add a cup of flour. I'm making my roux. When I was at Andrews, my friend Leah had me over one day, and she showed me a healthier way. She made me this really good rice soup. It was so good. It was vegan chicken rice soup. I'll never forget it. It was amazing. And so she showed me a quick and easy way how to make roux without frying it in the skillet with all that oil. And so this is a fat-free, and let me tell you, it's really good. So I've just taken and I'm using a little whisk. I always like to keep the miniature whisk in the house, and I've stirred the 1 cup of flour into the 2 cups of water in this cup, and you stir it around really good until there aren't any more chunks. Okay? Right? And also growing up, my mom, I'm sure other people do it too. I've taken the juice off of the fried chicken, the juice off of the, what is that called? Big Frank, Super Links, the juice off of the can, and I've also poured that in there to flavor the gravy. I also want to let you know I added some onion in there. About a half a cup of onion. Not too much, because you really want to taste that mushroom. Okay, this is stirred up really good now. You see how it kind of looks like milk? And now we are going to slowly add it. And you know what? I'm going to use my whisk again. Kind of a combination of a whisk and a spoon. I like keeping my whisk right here by me. And I'm just going to kind of start whisking this in here. If you have a hand blender, this will be a great time, but the only thing is that you'd have to take out all your mushrooms, or you'd blend up all your chunks of mushrooms. And you just add that into your hot water, and look at how thick that gets, like immediately, okay? And I've got a little bit down there, so again, you don't want chunks. And the water doesn't have to be hot when you do this. That's going to be chunky, so I'm not adding that. Look at that. And I'm not letting my whisk touch the bottom of my pan because I don't want to ruin it. And look, it's already thick. That is just so amazing. It's really easy. Now, if you don't want it that thick, okay, then you can, now I'm going to turn the pan down before it bubbles all over the place. But if you don't want it that thick, then you can gradually add just a little bit of water at a time. So when I'm cooking, I kind of just keep a tall glass by me so I can gradually add water till I get this consistency. You know, a lot of people like to add, that was probably about 1/4 cup of water that I added, but You know, you can play around with it until you have the thickness that you want. A lot of people like to use soy milk and rice milk and stuff like that to make gravy, and you don't have to do all that. Now, I will tell you, I've made a really good gravy with the cashew soy milk that you can get at Walmart. I think it's cashew milk. Yeah, the unsweetened one. That did make a good gravy, I will tell you that. Okay, let's get into the seasonings, because see, I want mine thick. Look at how thick that is. Alright, so I'm adding some onion powder. I'm not really going to do any measurements. I mean, you guys just kind of make it your own. That is about a tablespoon, though, of onion powder. You can even add granulated onions. I'm pretty good at eyeballing stuff. That's about a half a tablespoon or 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. And then I'm going to put a little bit of seasoning salt. Not that much. Yeah, that's not a lot at all. That's not even, that might be almost a half a teaspoon, but not quite. And see, this is where the whisk comes in handy, because you don't want any clumps. So you have to keep whisking away. And you can even add the seasonings to your flour, so that then you have a lump-free gravy. Okay, then I like to add, now there's mushroom soy sauce. I forgot to tell people, if you're allergic, this is really good, but if you're allergic to soy, there's mushroom soy sauce. You can add that instead. That's about 1/4 a cup, or at least 3 tablespoons of this Bragg's Amino. Okay, now I'm gonna taste it, see what it's doing. You can put pepper in it if you want to. I'm not going to. Really good. It needs a little bit more salt. So I'm going to sprinkle some of my Himalayan salt. See, it's not really that much that I put. And then I forgot. This is really good. It's better than bouillon. It's vegetable base. You can get it at Walmart. We're going to put about a teaspoon. That's probably about a teaspoon and a half, almost a tablespoon. We're putting that in there too. And I let the spoon sit down in there till I don't see any more. I keep it in the heat till I don't see any more. Or you can make the broth, heat up the water first and let that be part of your 1 cup. But I just go ahead and do it that way. It's just kind of quick. And then stir it up. And there you have your gravy. And it's really good. And I use the same method for making sausage gravy. The same, I make the roux like that, and this is how I make it for my family. And I use those sausage crumbles, or you can, if you don't have sausage crumbles, you can use the Gardein crumbles or the griller crumbles, and then you'll add sage and things like that to it. But this is how I make all my gravies. I don't fry a whole bunch of oil in a skillet and stuff like that. And you can use wheat flour or a combination of wheat and white. And let's taste it now. Let's see. This is going to go over the mashed potatoes to go with the meatloaf. That's good. So that's how you make it. If you want it to be a little spicy, you can add a little hint of the Creole. I put this in almost everything. Or you can use cayenne pepper or something like that. I think I am going to add, I'm going to see if I have any Big Frank juice in the can. And you just keep adding until it tastes the way you want it to taste. And You can use soy sauce again if you don't have this. You can use Dale's. Dale's is really good. You can put that in your gravy. But this is pretty much it. If you're not into having a lot of spices and seasonings, this is it. So that's how you make it, and hope you guys enjoy.